Hello everyone, this is Ethan from Frontier Guides. Well, pretty much all of my last videos started with me talking about how long we've been waiting for the update, and this one won't be different, as today I will be talking about my expectations for when the update is coming, based on all the information we got this year, which I'll be showing throughout this video. As we all know, in just a few days we'll get another end of the year progress post, supposedly. Because there is this screenshot of Spectra saying they weren't 100% sure whether or not they will make a traditional progress post in the last day of the year, as they have done for the past 2 years. But we should expect to hear something from them nonetheless. While I was making the video, Gorbachev sent a message in the official server stating that they are indeed dropping something in the update log before the year ends. But he didn't state what exactly, so it can very well not be a traditional progress post. I will discuss that further as we go on with the video. Over this entire year, we only got 2 official teasers, and regarding the in-game content they showed, it was pretty bare bones. We basically got nothing new at all from the official post, so personally, I really hope they do make a progress post like the last ones to show some new stuff. Unless they have something bigger in mind like a trailer, which I think won't be happening now, but isn't impossible. Despite the few posts, we did get a lot of new information from devs' messages over this year. And this is one thing I want to talk about in this video, as I've noticed lately that a lot of people who watch my videos and are waiting for the update don't really keep up with all the news on the official Discord server. Almost every day someone will pop a general chat asking if there has been any news regarding the update, so a good chunk of the player base isn't even aware that the devs do provide new information aside from the official posts on Twitter. Gorb especially has been way more active this year than any of them have been on the previous ones, sending random music every once in a while, some teasers, even joined a voice chat some time ago. So it's not like the devs have been in complete silence over this year, but it's understandable that not everyone is constantly checking the Discord server, and just assumes from the last update log being posted 8 months ago that they just disappeared since then. Nonetheless, it is a bit disappointing only having 2 teasers over an entire year, especially considering we were all so certain that the update was coming in 2024. Well, I guess that could be said for the past 5 years as well. For this video, I wanna do a rewind of every information we got this year so far, including the 2 Twitter posts, relevant dev DMs, and Gorba messages on the official Discord server. First, the Gorbachev poem, posted on Twitter on February 15. It reads, "Blockages to ash, there is only one way through. Fire forged me, now my heart is alight. Fear used to rule me, fought back out of spite. Inner war settled, worry no longer a paddle. On this burning flower, the power of my life." Followed by a couple of tweets with another poem. When update? I can't debate. It's been a while, but I've learned not to care about the silly comments in the air. It's coming, you see. If I didn't believe, I wouldn't be able to shine with glee. I'll keep working at it, till the job is done. Dagnabbit. Truly wise words from Gorba. On the Discord message, Gorba states he is entering Form 1, Burning Gorbacelli. The community assumes that this was meant to show that he was working really hard on developing the update at that time. But this implication that Gorba would assume different forms led to some questions and speculations, like how long will he be in that form? What will the next one be? Freezing Gorbacelli? Does that have any relation to the game? In the poem image, we can see some geometric forms, a square, an hexagon, and a triangle, each in one of the frontier colors. We have seen these colors being represented in many different ways, but I really don't know why they are associated with different geometric forms. It could be related to the crystals maybe, but we don't have much concrete information about them. If you have any theories, feel free to tell them in the comments. Below we can see some papers, once again showing that weird crooked shape we've seen in a lot of teasers. I noticed there is also a square in this paper, which as we've seen, represents the melee class. I think that this paper could be a scroll. We know for sure scrolls are gonna be added. I thought they would be only associated with magic weapons, but looking at this, it's possible that this scroll could have some effect of providing a melee damage bonus or a special attack to a melee weapon. But again, the crooked form there is blue, which represents the mage class. And this could just be a normal paper instead of a scroll, and those forms can be there for a totally different reason. It's all speculation. Besides that, we can see this flower that is apparently a quill. Very interesting design. I'm definitely curious to see if it will just be a normal flower or if you're gonna be able to write things with it. Anything is possible after all this time. 2 months later, Gorba would come back with yet another teaser. This one came with a personal message talking about development of the update and honoring their grandpa, who unfortunately passed away. A fact that understandably affected their production at the time. Focusing on the teaser itself, on the tweet, Gorba leaves the burning form, becoming his normal self once again, and rhetorically questions how many forms could exist. Surely not more than 3, right? Right? This emphasis led me to believe at the time that the forms Gorba would assume were something relevant to the update lore, and shortly after that he would enter a different one. But to everyone's surprise, that didn't happen. Gorbacelli stayed on his normal form since then, and no other public announcements were made after this one. The image itself shows nothing new, a regular Sky Island site with a human-shaped rock formation and a scroll laying next to it, once again in the red color. Red is naturally associated with burning, so that could mean that we have 2 more forms which are each associated to the 2 other frontier colors, but unfortunately we are yet to see these different forms in action to confirm this. And his rhetorical question of whether there are not more than 3 forms could be a reference to how after the update, along the 3 main colors, there will be the mixed colors which we know are relevant for the update. I don't think there will be a geometric form for each of the 6 colors, otherwise in that pace it would take at least 5 more years until he enters every form. I definitely think they didn't expect it to take that long, but again, that has also been the case for the past years. So now let's talk a bit about the Gorba messages on the Discord server. One thing he really likes to do every now and then is send music. But the general impression is that these are just music he really likes and wants to share, or that might represent his feelings toward developing the game. But it's not like they have a secret message containing spoilers of the update content. You can listen to them if you want, but they aren't really relevant for the update. Otherwise, most of the times he appears on the Discord server, he tells a bit about their progress. But that isn't much different from what we're told at the public posts. Just making us aware that they are still working and are not giving up as some clueless people often speculate. An interesting spoiler that not many people are aware of, as it was sent in a channel with restricted access, is this one, where Gorba shows this crystal called selenite, which actually does exist in real life. Curiously, it doesn't resemble any of the other crystals we've seen in the previous teasers, and I don't recall seeing anything like this before. It could be an important item, but I personally don't think Gorba would randomly shadow drop this in the chat without saying anything else if it was something relevant. Gorba always reiterates that he feels like it won't be too long before they manage to finish the update. But we've been hearing this for quite a long time, so understandably the community feels skeptical about it. But they know and understand this feeling, so Gorba avoids at all costs trying to give an estimate on the possible release date, especially after the early 2022 incident. Earlier in November, Gorba spent the most time a dev ever did talking to the community, having even joined the voice chat to talk a bit. Though no major information were provided, someone made a poll asking if they should release the update within 6 months, which Gorba voted yes. He would later clarify that this doesn't mean it's necessarily a fact, but he definitely wants it to be the case. But again, realistically, they expect this update to come at least 4 years ago, so I will say once again, don't take any sort of estimation for granted until an official release date is announced. Though I would like to point out my own opinion on the possible release date, since that is ultimately the goal of this video. If you remember well, on the last progress post, the devs announced that they will be doing a beta testing phase before actually releasing it publicly, which according to some DMs they exchanged with community members, anyone will be able to apply for, though only a select number of players will be chosen to take part on this testing. I am giving a rough estimate that from the point they announce they are open to receive applications, to when they choose the testers and it actually starts, to when they finish this beta testing phase, it will take probably around a month. Then you have to take into account that Gorba mentioned they will likely do another closed testing phase with closer, more trusted friends for the endgame stuff like the final boss, which they don't want to spoil to too many people. Then after all the testing, they will still need to patch all the glitches and issues that are found during it, which might also take a week or 2. And then, as they have clarified multiple times, there will be a time of at least 2 weeks from when they announce the definitive release date and that actual date, to build hype while they reveal the more juicy stuff that they have been avoiding showing too much over the years. So based on that, my estimate is that until they announce that they are open to receive applications for the beta testing, we are at least 2 months away from the update release date. If they do announce the beginning of beta testing in the end of the year post, as it has been highly speculated, it's likely the update would come at the very least in the end of February. But again, this is my estimate, and we don't even know yet if they will indeed announce the beta testing next week. Don't be surprised if you have to wait until the middle of the year or even 2026. The FF update has been very unpredictable both for the community and the devs. On a more particular note, I would love if it were to come at the end of February. I've generally been holding myself from planning long trips during my holidays, as for the past years, we've been always under the impression that the update could be announced at any time. And as a person who deeply loves this game, as well as being a content creator and wiki staff, I would hate to have waited 5 years only for it to come at the moment when I'm not at home and unable to play. And this year, I finally ignored that fear and booked a trip with my father during mid-February. So right now, I really hope I'm correct with my estimations. Okay, no more mouthing. I already gave my opinion on the possible release time window, which was my main goal with this video. But there's still some more things from the dev's messages I wanna show. In that day when Gorbachev talked a lot with the community on the Discord server, some dude just casually asked him to send a pic of something from the update, and surprisingly, Gorba did deliver. He showed us a picture of a creature, apparently called a Gree. It's likely going to be a monster rather than an NPC, judging by its appearance and the fact Gorba called it a Gree and not the Gree. Aside from that, I don't have much else to talk about it, but it's really cool that he just casually decided to show something. I love when the devs have this more direct interaction with the community. After that, Gorba would only appear in December to tell they are still working on the update, and just a few days ago he confirmed we are getting an update log next week. Regarding the dev DMs, I've already showed some of them before, and to be honest, most of them are answers to casual questions about things that will or not be in the update, or technical questions about the current game. Things like, will there be a live event? Will there be a new game pass? What do Divine Grapes taste like? Generally things that will be answered with the arrival of the update or aren't relevant information for the update waiting. You can check them all in the FF Dev DMs thread on the official Discord server. But I decided to make a small compilation of some interesting information we got this year. First, regarding the possibility of porting Fantasy Frontier to mobile devices, which surprisingly Gorba wants to do post-update. He says they used to think it was impossible, and even did some testing years ago, but now after some improvements done by Roblox, them optimizing the game and phones getting more powerful, it seems to be a possibility for the future. This one was really unexpected for me, as I didn't expect a game complex like FF being able to be played on mobile. Again, this is something they intend to do after releasing the update, so it will definitely take some time. It's not something I would expect to see very soon, but it's an interesting possibility. Also, there is this other DM in which Spectra mentions that they want to release FF on console too, and this is intended to be one of their priorities after the update comes. This other DM from Spectra has some useful information about some changes done in the update, like fixing flinging glitches with monsters like Inspector, increasing the spawn rate of monsters in the frontier, and clarifying that the starter classes shown in the 2022 progress post are just a kit of items for the players to start with, and not something that affects your character while you progress. Here Gorb is asked about the RNG dependent items, as this is something a lot of the community feels is a bit ruthless, to which he answers that this is something they wanted to change in the update, and there will be different systems to obtain rare items instead of pure energy, so I expect there will be some form of pity system to some really rare items. On this other DM, Gorba confirms that there will be a new ending to the game, and states that their major goal after the update is to keep FF as their main job for the time being after, keeping up with smaller scale updates for the game. Also, he confirms that they intend to balance the minion, which is an item that has been long deemed way too overpowered. As a last note, I noticed the devs often reiterate that this update is more of an expansion to the game rather than a remaster, so we should definitely expect to see lots of new content, but not really a complete overhaul in the current map, mechanics and graphics. It will still feel like the same game, just with way more content, though they plan to improve some parts of the current game that may need an improvement after releasing the big update. And that's it for the most relevant and interesting information we got over 2024. The end of year post is just around the corner, so really it's a matter of waiting a couple days until we get more information. I highly doubt we'll get a release date, but I feel like either a trailer or the beginning of the beta testing stage are possibilities. Or it could just be a traditional progress post showcasing new content and providing more information. Who knows what they mean by something. Either way, I plan to open a livestream during December 31st, around the time they generally post this sort of announcement. I'm not 100% sure, as it's the last day of the year, so I might not even be home, but either way, a video about whatever they post will come in the following days. So stay tuned at both my channel and the official FF Discord server. Thank you all for watching, hope you had great holidays, and we all have a fantastic 2025. Hopefully with the FF update. See ya!